there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So this is an ASMR channel to talk about football, or soccer if you're watching from the United States, hello. And we're going to just do a little bit of a news catch-up on all of the things that have happened. I've been doing ones individually recently, but so much has happened over the weekend and today that I just wanted to do a bit of a catch-up. I'm using the app. Well, I've got the app on my phone, FootMob, but they also have a web version. And yeah, we'll just look at the main stories together. So we're going to start off by talking about the United States manager Jesse Marsch, being sacked from Leeds today. We'll talk a little bit about Christian Atsu and also Carlos Queiroz and Vinicius Jr. and very much look at Man City later on with the news that have come up with them, and Joao Cancelo and Juventus. Okay, so first and foremost, just to say, I'm sending my best wishes to everyone in Christian Atsu's family. There was an earthquake in Turkey and northern Syria, and he plays now in that area. He used to play for Newcastle. Very, very fast winger, a nice guy, and they've lost contact with him. So I really hope that they find him and everyone else. But yeah, my best wishes go out to him. Okay, so Jesse Marsch has been sacked from Leeds. I watched the game on the weekend, Leeds against Nottingham Forest. And yeah, to be honest, they just ran out of ideas. Forest are a sort of club on the up, and Leeds they haven't won in so many games. They haven't scored, and they've lost their best striker. It's a shame because Jesse Marsch seems like a really, really nice guy, but I think that, they went out of the Premier League once and it took them years and years to get back in. I don't think the board want to do that again, and I think that it's been a little bit of a panic now after the transfer window has ended. They probably should have done it a month ago and given their new manager the ability to bring in some players of their own. But it is what it is, and they've got interim staff looking over the club at the moment. And yeah, so we'll see. It's awful. It probably is the right decision, but it's a bit harsh as well because, I don't know, things just seem to go against him. Injuries and yeah, he seems like they play quite nice football. They don't look like a side that is going to be relegated in lots of ways, but it's such a competitive league. You can play half decent and still get relegated in the Premier League. So okay, next up, oh my goodness, Man City, we'll come to that in a minute. Carlos Queiroz, previously at Man United, and in the World Cup he managed Iran, and now he's gone to be the coach of the national team of Qatar. So he's left his post with Iran. Ahead of the Man United tie, Sergio Busquets has got an injury, so maybe he's going to miss that match. At the minute, Real Madrid are in Morocco playing in the Club World Cup, and Al Ahly of Egypt, champions of Africa, are playing them after beating Seattle Sounders, the champions of North America from the United States. They were the first team from the United States, I think, to make it this far into the competition, but ultimately Al Ahly is a really, really good team. And some terrible news about Vinicius Jr. getting some racist abuse in Mallorca, when Mallorca beat Real Madrid over the weekend in a bit of a shock result. What else we got here? Bayern Munich Munich have already said that they won't be able to afford João Cancelo on a permanent contract. I think the sum would be something like 90 million, and they've said there's no way that they can afford that. I don't know what the story is with Bayern Munich. They are the most successful club in Germany. They always get really far in the Champions League. Where does the money go? They don't seem to splurge loads of money on players like other countries with, when you've got such a consistent finishing first, the prize money from that, the prize money from the Champions League, you'd think that they'd be able to buy whoever they wanted to, but yeah, they're very, very conservative with their funds. It's a very interesting contrast, shall we say, to teams at the top of the English, Spanish, French, Italian leagues. And talking about splurging lots of money, Juventus deducted 15 points for financial foul play. So their manager Allegri has said that it's going to take an absolutely monumental effort to get into the Champions League next season, where they were second or third before they got the points deducted. So they're just targeting safety now, first and foremost, because they're actually closer to the relegation zone than they are to European football. So that's his priority. And rightly so, to be honest, but I think they'll probably do better than that. But then again, they did lose massively the other week to someone at home who was way worse. I think it's just knocked their confidence. They were playing really well before that. Okay, and last but not least, let's talk about crisis club of the week. Man City. So basically, they have been told that, I think over a period of something like 4 years, they've been investigating their finances and they've had massive fails. So, it's all in white, sorry, I do apologise, because you're trying to get ready for sleep. I'll come off it. I can basically tell you what it says anyway. So, they are a team which is in trouble, and such, people are predicting in how much trouble. Are we talking relegation? Are we talking a price docking of points? If they were to do the same to them as they've done with Juventus, then they would be down in something like 8th, 10th, something like that, same as Chelsea and Liverpool. So totally out of Europe altogether. And will they also do what they did with Juve, and will they remove people from their positions and say they can't be coaches and can't work for the club in any way, so they'll have to get backroom staff in and replace them? So it's not just on the pitch, it's also the stuff going on behind the scenes as well, which are affected. So yeah, if they do get 15 points deducted, because they're saying it's not as bad as when Juventus did the bribery, because they had 2 titles taken away from them and they were relegated. It's not the same. This is just, fiddling the numbers. So, yeah. And if I were in Chelsea's shoes, I would be a little bit worried at the minute, because people have already said that they've, on this Mudryk deal, they've sort of spread the costs over an 8-year period or something, which is it's a little bit dodgy, basically. So I would be really worried if I were Chelsea at the second that they're gonna have a similar thing happen to them soon. And of course, at least Man City was second in the league, but if something were to happen to Chelsea when they're already in like 9th or whatever it is, then they could be in the relegation zone. So they need to be really careful. And they've spent 300 million this window. So yeah, it's a little bit scary if where I'm concerned anyway. Anyway, that's the news update. So we've talked about all the different things going on in the news at the moment, including Man City's financial crisis and Leeds sacking their manager. If you've got any opinions on any of the things you've heard in this video, then drop me a comment and don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again really soon.